Welcome to your video number 2. You are showing by your actions, not your words or your thoughts, that you're actually committed to transforming your relationship with time, and that you're committed to actually taking steps to transform this so that you can actually make more money in your business. So in today's video, what I want to share with you is structures. I wanna talk a little bit about how structures actually can support you in saving a lot of time. I'm gonna share with you the top 2 structures that are non-negotiable. You have to have these in place, okay? If you don't have these in place, you need to implement them right away so that you can start making an impact in your clients' lives and also in yourself and in your business. And I want to share with you a little bit about how to start implementing structures in a way that it doesn't take a lot of time and it actually ends up saving you time in the future. And there's 2 little tricks in there that I used very recently, and I think that it will really support you in creating a beautiful, beautiful system that supports your business. So if you haven't done it yet, if you haven't watched video number 1 yet, you should go back and listen to that one and watch it and really absorb that information, because that really is the foundational piece. If you don't have that in place, then everything else starts falling through the cracks. In video number 1, I actually went through and I talked a little bit about my journey with time. I also shared the top strategy that I use to plan out my week, and you can use it for one day, you can use it for a week, you can even use it for a month, and it really supports you in making sure that you have enough time to do absolutely everything that you want to do, and so that you're not always struggling, to get everything done and staying up really late and not taking care of yourself, okay? The whole point of having a business is so that you can have more freedom. That's also one thing that I touched, the myth that women feel that if they have to follow a schedule, like perhaps they did when they were in corporate. And I know, because I came from that same background, and for me it was very painful thinking that, I'm going to start a business and now I'm going to have to follow my schedule. Like, isn't that the whole point of, starting your own business, so that you can make your own rules? Yes, absolutely. And it doesn't take away from that. So I explain a little bit more about that in the first video. So about structures. Structures can seem overwhelming to a woman when, a lot of the times most of us want to be in the flow, when we want to be feminine, and the word structures already immediately conjures up an image of a very masculine thing that is not really it's going to be like sort of like putting us in a box and not allowing us to have a full expression of creativity and abundance and beauty and all that stuff, right? The truth is that structures, they are masculine, but the masculine is very supportive to the feminine. And if you think about it that way, you can actually see how those things that you put in place can actually be supporting you. I can tell you for myself, and I'm going to share also the story of one of my clients very shortly. For myself, I started with just wanting to create a business, and I think most of us, the idea or the reason why we want to do this is because we want to help people, right? So we have this very beautiful image in our heads that, we're going to go and we're going to out there and we're going to save the world, right? We're going to transform people's lives. We're going to create this huge impact. We're going to, really create transformation and consciousness in the planet. And we are doing that, right? Every single one of us that is a service-based professional, or anyone that has a business that's actually supporting rather than taking away, it's actually doing that. And at the same time, it becomes almost a little bit of a romanticized idea, to the point that it doesn't allow us to actually think that in order to make that business a success, we actually have to think like business owners. And that is something that I talk about very, very frequently, especially with my clients, my one-on-one clients and things like that, where, you know, I get them into the mindset of actually thinking like a business owner. Because if you keep thinking like, you know, all you're doing this for is to save the world, then you're not going to get the chance to do it. And that is the harsh reality. So it's very important to get into the mindset that we are business owners. We are here to help the world, but we are here to make money. And the more money that we make, the more of an impact that we can actually have in people's lives, the more clients that we're able to reach, and the more that we can actually do, you know, and you know, give back to the world, right? A lot of us have a lot of dreams of, you know, being extremely generous, like not only with people that we love, but also with, you know, charities and things like that. And those things, they cannot become a reality if you're not taking care of yourself. And that's where structures come in. You know, when I started, I was just going at it with no clarity, and because of that, my business was 1 year later exactly in the same place that I had started, and it ended up being extremely painful for me because I wanted so much to be able to support other people and support myself, and yet, you know, I didn't have anything that will actually be supporting me in being able to do that, right? And that's a little bit where structures come in, right? We have to have these things in place so that we can then know that we're taken care of, that the foundation is there, so that then we can go and do the thing that we actually love doing. A lot of the time, if you don't know how to handle your business, how to do the, you know, how things work, then it's very difficult for us to hire out. I know that in my past I had challenges with that. And because of that, I wasn't able to get the support that I needed. Again, this is all coming back to the same thing. We need to have that clarity, have the structures in place in order for us to actually start building the companies that we actually want, right? So it's not about just, you know, having a business, but having a company that actually, you know, creates real transformation, but also is supportive. And the more that you grow, you have to think about it, the more that you can actually provide to other people. There's going to be those people that you're going to be working with, the ones that you're going to hire to support you in your business. They're also going to be, you know, dependent on you. So the sooner that you get started, the better. You know, it's going to. It can be a wild ride. It can be a very beautiful ride, and it can be transformational in and of itself if you allow it to be. But you have to take it easy. So I'm going to share a couple of things. The first thing is that you know, there's a few pieces that you need to put in place right away. So there's two things in particular that if you don't have them rock solid in place, they need to be in place right now. And those two things are sales and customer service. So those are two structures, and you know, it may not sound like it's a structure, and perhaps when you think of the word structure, you're thinking of, you know, I don't know, like how you write a newsletter. But the truth is that everything in your business should have a system. It should have a structure of how to, right? A step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that actually tells not only yourself so that you make sure that you're following every step, but also people that you hire, how you want things to be done, right? And for customer service, it's imperative. It needs to be there. It needs to be there, and it needs to be rock solid. It needs to be followed no matter what. You know, those people that have already said yes to you and that, you know, already have, you know, shown you that they are committed to themselves by working with you, they need that honor. They need that respect back from you. And however you want to do that, that's definitely company by company, right? You're going to find your own way, but it needs to be in place, and you need to have a system of, you know, being very clear with your clients. For example, being very clear with your clients how you're going to communicate with them, what is included in the packages, you know, what kind of services you're giving them for the money exchange that they have given to you. All of those things need to be very crystal clear, that there's no question at all whatsoever what is the next step. The second one is sales. So sales needs to happen in one way or another every single day that you're in business. Because if you're not doing sales, you're not in business. This is something that I learned a little while ago, and even though I had been pretty good with it, it's interesting how much more you can actually do when you actually realize that the focus, like of where you need to be putting the focus. And I am passing that information along to you today. It's very important. You need to be working on marketing, or you need to be working on, calling people. You need to be reaching out to potential people that have shown interest in you. There needs to be a procedure for all of those things. And you need to have like a very, very clear way that you're communicating your brand, your message with those people that are potentials, and so that you actually communicate what the value is of what you do, and then you can actually, then attract the right people to you, because you want to make sure that you are working with the right people. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And if not, then you can definitely leave a comment below and ask questions. I'd be more than happy to answer those for you. So one of the biggest things that I find with women in particular is the fact that, you're thinking, yeah, okay, so Sue, thank you. I know that I need to put my structures in place. I know that I need to do all these things, but I don't have time. I don't have time to do all these things. When am I going to find the time? And there's a couple of things that I have done that will totally support you if you're up for it. The first one is that, nobody says that you need to have your entire processes and procedures manual completely done right now. Like, nobody said that, right? We tend to create rules for ourselves that are very limiting, and it actually stops us from actually creating the things that we want to create. So it's very important that you think about, let's start with the first two that I mentioned already, and then you can actually keep going forward. And every time that you stumble upon one thing that you know that you need to do, then you keep going in that direction and keep, adding one more. At the end of a year, you should have pretty much absolutely everything. In the future, you may need to add more, but for the most part, you will have touched almost every piece in your business, and then by then, you'll be able to actually create your manual. So try to think about things in a way of how can I do this without it affecting me as much, rather than why I can't do it. Like, what is the reason that I'm giving myself? What's the excuse that I'm giving to myself that I can't do this, right? And the other one is, and this is something that I actually employed this past summer, I hired, or I attracted to me, and I don't know if I like using the word hire for this, but I got 3 interns, and they actually, with me, helped me create my process and procedures manual. This is something that I have wanted to do for such a long time. And they, we exchanged energy for 3 months. They supported me in creating my manual, and then they also, I supported them in, answering their questions about business, and I taught them about business and things like that. So you can create a type of energy exchange and then have this done very easily and very beautifully. In fact, that experience was so awesome. I loved my interns, and they were just a gift. And you can actually get to know really amazing people and get to support them that way. So that's also an option for you. That manual took about a year to put together. In general, from my end, I actually gathered that information. So it's the same thing that I just shared with you. You can totally put it one by one, and then at the end of the year, you can get interns. You can get help, get support, get a VA, get someone to go through it with you, so that you know that you're not missing anything. That's it for the structures. I know that was a lot. So take it one step at a time, baby steps, and then you can actually get to your your full support with the business, and I'm sure that the structures will actually be there to save you time rather than, take time away from you. You have to think about it in a way that actually will support you. So that said, I want to share with you that in the next video, I'm going to be talking about time and money. And it's very, very interesting because time and money are those two things that are always grouped together. So I'm going to go over why they're always grouped together, what is the big deal with time and money, and I'm going to share with you some of the reasons, some of the ways that time can be making you more money and money can be giving you more time. So it really does work both ways with that. And I am sending you all my love, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I'll see you soon. Bye.